Welcome to Tech Brief Kerala. As hams, we often say that the airwaves belong to everyone. But in an era of strict digital surveillance and data protection, where does the hobbyist radio operator stand? Today we are doing a deep dive into a complex intersection that is privacy in the airwaves. We'll explore how the Information Technology IT Act and the Indian Telegraph Act apply to our hobby and what every amateur radio operator needs to know about the law. Let's move. First, let's clear up the jargon. Amateur radio in India is primarily governed by the Indian Telegraphy Act of 1885 and the Indian Wireless Telegraphy Act of 1933. These laws give the government the power to license us and to regulate the frequencies we use. However, when we move into the digital age using modes like FT8, APRS, or Echolink, whatever, we enter the territory of the Information Technology Act 2000. What is the myth of privacy? There is no expectation of privacy on amateur radio bands. By the very nature of our license, all transmissions must be in plain language or universally recognized code like Morse code. So encryption is strictly prohibited. Under the Telecommunications Amateur Services Rules 2024, our stations are subject to inspection and our logs must be transparent. In the eyes of law, the airwaves are a public square, not a private room. That has to be taken into consideration. And how the IT Act applies. So where does the IT Act come in? That is coming into digital modes, cybersecurity. When you transfer data via computer interface, you are technically handling electronic records. Sections of the IT Act regarding unauthorized access or the transmission of obscene content apply here just as they do on the internet. Then comes the interception. While anyone can listen to ham radio recording and retransmitting, private aimed communications for malicious intent could potentially trigger sections of the IT Act related to data privacy. Then comes cybersecurity. If you run a digital gateway or node, you are essentially an intermediary under the law. This means you have a responsibility to ensure your station isn't used for cyber crimes. As someone with a legal background, it is interesting to note that the Puttasamy judgment, which declared privacy a fundamental right under Article 21 of the Constitution of India. However, this right is subject to reasonable restrictions. For hams, the restrictions is public order and national security because we use a state-owned resource, the RF spectrum. The state maintains the right to monitor our conversations to ensure they remain non-commercial and non-political. With the recent implementation of the Digital Personal Data Protection Act, that is DPDP Act, we have to be even more careful. Sharing another operator's personal details like their home address or phone number obtained via digital database without the consent could technically lead to a dispute. We stick to basics, name, call sign, and signal reports. That is better. Okay, let me conclude. Amateur radio is a transparent hobby. The best way to stay protected is to follow the ham code. Keep your transmissions technical, public, and within the rules. The law isn't there to stop our hobby, but to ensure that the airwaves remain a safe and disciplined space for everyone. Thank you for watching Tech Brief Kerala. If you are a ham with a legal question or a lawyer interested in radio, let us start a conversation in the comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. 73. Bye bye.